Hey, welcome back to the internet's only week-by-week doodling with purpose. Learning hieroglyphics on the internet. Isn't it fun? All right, well, we're going to jump right in and continue our look at bilateral sounds and some vocabulary. But first, last week's homework. Hopefully you have written down and transliterated and translated it. And here's what that would look like, including all of the determinatives and the sound cues. And, well, let's jump into what this actually means. So you probably recognize IW, meaning someone in the past did something. That's your sign at the beginning of the sentence that we're about to go into the past. And where are we going? Well, the first verb is to hear, MSSJR, and that determinative of the ear there. Now, seeing that we have the water sign after that, that tells us that we're going from hear to heard. And who did the herding? Well, in this case, with the horned viper, he heard. All right, so what did he hear? Well, our next word, bak, is servant. So the servant heard his servant. And what he heard his servant doing was giving birth. IN, by, at the bottom, followed by the word for pyramids. Pyramids being plural with the 3 stroke lines under it. So the whole sentence would read, he heard his servant giving birth by the pyramids. I really do hope there's a hospital with a birthing wing. All right, our next bilateral sound is the phallus, which is MT. So here we have the phallus followed by T, R the mouth, the chick, 2 determinatives of fingers, and a determinative of a man pointing to his face. You know they're determinatives because you don't recognize them as sounds. So this is the word to witness. After you break down the echo sound, it's MTRW. All right. Next up here we have a repetition of the phallus, MT, MT, followed by TT, and then a determinative of the ear and a determinative of the man. This is the word mt, to discuss. So you'll notice that the MT is repeated. All right, now we have the phallus with 2 T's, so MT, and our determinative this time is the sun, which tells us that this is a word meaning a time or a day, and in this case, the word is an exact moment. All right, our next bilateral sound are these 3 wavy lines, which together make up the letter or the sound ms, ms, mus. Now, you may recognize one wavy line is the letter N, or it can be ED for past, but this time we have 3 wavy lines. And when you have 3 wavy lines with a stroke line under it, it becomes a word, and this is the word waters. So you have 3 signs for water, followed by a stroke sign. How about this? 3 lines for water, followed by 3 determinatives. Well, if you look at what those guys are doing, they're getting it on, digging, dancing. So this is the word for ritual dancers. All right, our last sound looks very similar, one we've seen before. This is NB, which is the basket without a handle. You may recall if there's a handle on it, it is the sound K. But without the handle, it becomes NB. All right, so let's see how that looks in a word. Now, again, looking at the determinative, hopefully that is acting as a clue to the definition of the word. It's one of the great things about hieroglyphics. It's full of clues to help. So once you've sounded out the letters, we have NB followed by onk, followed by n. So repeating the echo sound of the N and H from the trilateral sound before it. So that makes this the word an sarcophagus. See, the determinative is a sarcophagus, like you know what mummies live in. All right, now it should be noted that the NB sound with a stroke mark under it can mean Lord. Very important word there. All right, so here's your homework for next week. Take a look, transliterate and translate this. When we'll regroup next week as we continue to learn more vocabulary and continue down the bilateral rainbow. I hope you enjoyed this video and this series, and please do like it, pass it on to others. It's the best way to show support for it. Thanks for watching, thanks for being part of the class, and I'll see you guys next week.